Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going straight into the engine room of Web3 platforms. We're going to demystify the core mechanics of NFT marketplaces, dodge the traps, and honestly just cut right through all the hype. You see, these platforms, they don't just host JPEGs. They're automated financial engines moving billions of dollars and completely rewriting the rules of digital ownership. So let's learn how to use them before they use you. Just think about this reality for a second. Today, a 16-year-old in Brazil can sell art to a collector in Japan at 3 a.m., get a 95% payout in literally 15 seconds, and earn royalties forever. That is wild. Back in 2020, you were basically posting on Instagram, begging for a PayPal DM, and secondary royalties? Yeah, those were practically a myth. Web3 turned that messy, theoretical idea into a seamless, one-click, borderless reality. Here's our roadmap for today. 1. eBay, but on-chain. 2. The mechanics of trading. 3. Fees, royalties, and gas. 4. Surviving NFT scams. And finally, 5. Your safe trading playbook. Okay, let's dive right into this with Section 1, eBay, but on-chain. Matchmaker versus middleman. This comparison really hits the nail on the head when we talk about Web 2 versus Web 3 marketplaces. Traditional platforms like eBay or Amazon, they're custodians. They act as this huge, heavy middleman. You either ship your item to their warehouse or they hold the buyer's money. They can freeze your funds, charge a massive 10 to 15% fee, and make you wait 14 days for a payout, which, let's be real, in the crypto world feels like an absolute century. On the flip side, an NFT marketplace like OpenSea is completely non-custodial. Your digital asset stays safely tucked away in your own wallet until the exact moment it sells. The marketplace never actually holds it. They're basically just a matchmaker taking a tiny 0 to 2.5% fee, while the blockchain handles the settlement for instant payouts. Let's move to Section 2, the mechanics of trading, actions under the hood. Now, actually deploying a smart contract to mint an asset directly on Ethereum, that can cost an absolute fortune in gas. But marketplaces use this brilliant workaround called lazy minting. Here's how it works. You're simply signing a free digital message to list your item. The marketplace creates an off-chain record, and the NFT isn't officially minted onto the blockchain until a buyer actually steps up and pays for it. It's exactly how creators are able to drop 10,000 items with zero upfront capital. Pretty smart, right? Let's trace exactly what happens under the hood during that magical 15-second window when a buyer clicks Purchase. Step 1. The MetaMask wallet pops up, prompting the buyer to send ETH and gas to the marketplace contract. Step 2. The smart contract takes that crypto, pulls the unminted or listed NFT, and executes what's called an atomic swap. And Step 3, the contract instantly splits the fees between the creator, the marketplace, and the seller. Bam! 0 invoices, 0 waiting. Which brings us to Section 3, fees, royalties, and gas, following the money. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is just how ruthlessly efficient the code is at moving money. Let's say an NFT sells for 1 Ethereum. The seller doesn't get that full amount. Instead, the smart contract auto-splits it instantly. The marketplace skims its 2.5%, the creator gets an automatic 5% royalty, and the seller walks away with 92.5%. It's instantaneous. But this neat little pie chart has recently been thrown into absolute chaos. So between 2022 and 2023, this massive royalty war broke out. A new marketplace called Blur hit the scene, and they treated NFTs less like an art gallery and way more like Wall Street day trading. To suck up all the volume, Blur launched with 0% marketplace fees and 0% creator royalties. Because you see, royalties on the blockchain are technically optional, so Blur just ignored them. And it worked. They completely flipped OpenSea's trading volume, which then forced OpenSea to also make royalties optional just to survive. If you're an artist today, the game has totally changed. You now have to use specific smart contracts, like Manifold, to actively block these 0% marketplaces if they refuse to pay you. Now, aside from royalties, the other major cost you got to watch out for is gas. Gas is simply the network fee you pay to write data to the blockchain. If you're using Ethereum Layer 1, a single transaction might run you anywhere from $20 to $100. Honestly, if you're buying a $5,000 blue chip asset, that's fine. But here is the golden rule. If your NFT is under $100, you absolutely must use a Layer 2 network like Polygon, Base, or Arbitrum, where gas is literally a single penny. Otherwise, congratulations, you just paid more in network fees than the actual art itself.
All right, Section 4, surviving NFT scams, the dark forest.
Listen, The blockchain is an incredible tool, but it's also a dark forest, and there is no 1-800 customer service number to call when things go wrong. Shockingly, 90% of beginners who lose money don't lose it on bad investments. They lose it to these 5 entirely preventable traps. 1. Fake sites. You accidentally type in OpenSea.co instead of .io, connect your wallet, and boom, it's drained. 2. Handing over your 12-word seed phrase to some fake support agent on Twitter. 3. Approval exploits. This is where you sign a malicious contract that literally gives a scammer permission to sweep all your assets. 4. Dust attacks. A random free NFT just magically appears in your wallet, but the second you try to interact with it, it triggers a drain. And 5. Over-the-counter trades. Someone promises to send you crypto after you send them the art, and then they just block you. Poof, gone. So what does this all mean? You might be wondering. If the blockchain is completely decentralized and censorship-resistant, what happens if someone actually steals your art? Can they just keep it and sell it? Well, this brings up a massive myth about pure decentralization. The reality is, marketplaces like OpenSea can, and totally do, freeze or delist stolen assets if they get reported. Now sure, OpenSea can't actually seize the asset out of the scammer's wallet, it is still on the blockchain, but by freezing it on their specific interface, they make it nearly impossible to sell on any of the major platforms, which severely cripples its value. Bringing it all together in Section 5, your safe trading playbook, actionable steps. So the absolutely crucial point here is that your wallet hygiene is non-negotiable. You should never, ever keep all your digital assets in one place. You really need this 3-wallet setup. First up, a hot wallet, like MetaMask. Use this for daily stuff and low-value assets under $100. Second, you need a vault. This is for cold, offline storage of any asset worth over $1,000. And third, you need a burner wallet. This is a brand new wallet you create specifically for minting on a new, unproven site. You only put in exactly what you need for that transaction, so if the site turns out to be malicious, your absolute maximum loss is capped at like $10.
And there are 2 more essential hygiene habits to build. Remember those approval exploits we just talked about? Well, a bad click from some shady site 2 years ago can literally still drain your wallet today. So you must use a tool like Revoke.cash about once a month. For around $1 in gas, you can go in and strip away any old permissions you've accidentally granted to smart contracts over the years. Oh, and finally, don't ignore the legal reality. Flipping an NFT for profit is a taxable event. Do yourself a massive favor and use a tool like Coinly to track your wallet activity, and always, always set aside 30% of your profits for tax season.
Well, we have covered a lot of ground today, from the slick mechanics of lazy minting and smart contracts to the harsh realities of gas fees and wallet security. Look, the NFT marketplace has completely revolutionized digital ownership. The global market is open 24/7, without permission, without borders, and your wallet is quite literally your storefront. It's a massive system that grants you ultimate freedom. But I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Web3 gives you ultimate ownership, yes, but it requires ultimate responsibility. The marketplace is open, but are you prepared to be your own bank? Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Stay safe out there in the dark forest and keep learning.